Time for Sports, Nothing But Sports for Friday, June 21st. Let's get right to it. Brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry. Goga, is it Bitadze? Bitadze? What is it?
It's Bitadze.
Bitadze. Okay, perfect. When did it dawn on you that this dream of becoming an NBA player could come true? Was it last year in the EuroLeague? What was it?
No, it was yesterday probably. Yes, it was probably yesterday that I was sitting there and I was realizing, I didn't realize that I was there because I've seen this only in the TV, like Adam Silver shaking your hand. It was like really in the TV watching some other guy, and I just go on there. I don't really remember what was going on. I remember I was shaking after, but yeah, probably it was yesterday.
When you played in the EuroLeague, how long did it take for you to be comfortable competing against that level of competition?
Also, the league I played, ABA League, it was pretty high level. So really tough guys. You get no calls over there, so it's really hard to play. Also, you are young guys, and they will not give you any calls. So I think that helped me a lot to adjust EuroLeague, and after that, I got matured. I worked on my body, and my body changed. I grew up, and that helped me a lot too. And I worked a lot too. That's what helped me.
What do you do best?
I play tough and compete on a high level. And other than that, I think all around, just being really productive on both ends of the floor and read the plays and make the plays.
What is it about basketball that you love? It seems like you're a team guy and that you enjoy being part of a family playing, but what is that thing about basketball that just kind of compelled you to be great at it?
Yeah, first of all, it's a competitive game, and you go out there and face other guys who trying to compete and who trying to win the game, who trying to go out there and grind, and also this thing with the guys around, it's like a family. You make family here and you play with them. Go out there like a war. It's like a war going with your family. And also this game is so beautiful. I mean, it's like my I don't know, my life. I haven't done anything else but basketball. That's what I think. Every single day I wake up like it's only basketball, really, in my mind, in my heart, and I really love this game.
I don't know a lot about you, but listening to the teleconference last night when you were in New York and hearing you talk today, a lot of what has made you what you are is work ethic. Where did you learn about work ethic and about working hard and trying to prepare at 100% every day?
I think in Serbia, where I saw that I needed to work to be a better player, to get my spot in the team, and to be better myself, and after that also to help my family too. And just right now it's like over there I don't really feel like I work hard. I think every time I can work harder, and I try to do 100%. It's just like right now in me, and I really enjoy getting tired and feel that you're growing, this soreness in your muscle. That's like really satisfying, and I'm really enjoying this.
Nice. Welcome to Indiana. You'll like it. It's a friendly place.
I already like it, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Goga. All right, now let's talk with Nate McMillan, coach of the Pacers. What do you see in Goga that excites you?
Well, he's a 7-footer with a lot of potential. His ability to play both ends of the floor. We like two-way guys. He can defend. He can defend the basket. He blocks shots. He rebounds the ball offensively. Does a good job of handling the ball, passing the ball. He can shoot the ball. So he has a high basketball IQ. And he's a young talent that has been playing in a really good league for the last couple of years. So we feel he's a guy that can come in and play a few minutes right away.
He talks about toughness, and he talks about family and basketball in terms of family, and it seems like that's the culture that over the last couple of years is being developed here. Is that part of the evaluation process of a guy like this?
Absolutely. Whenever we are looking to, draft players or, sign them in free agency, we're looking for guys to fit our culture, and he fits our culture, a guy that understands how to play the game. He understands that playing the game together is the best way to play the game. He's a very unselfish kid that understands where he's at, what he needs to do, and he has seen us play, and he's familiar with our style of play. So, he checks off really all the boxes for us, as far as a young guy coming in with his potential to help us next season.
How important is it to watch him in Summer League and have him get something out of that so you kind of get a feel for who he is and what he does and how he fits?
We're hoping to, get everything, all the paperwork signed and, get him ready to play in Summer League. There's a 50-50 chance that he may or may not be able to go because he has to get his visa and all of that. And, Summer League is, I think, about 2 weeks away. And can we get all of that done in time for him to play? So if he does, great. If not, we'll have him ready for Veterans Camp.
Herb knows people. He can make some calls, can't he?
We're going to do everything we can to try to get him in uniform to play this summer.
Hey, what about the Bowen kid, signing him to a two-way deal? He's a talented guy who a year ago, before all the problems with the NCAA and whatnot, he was seen as a guy who absolutely could play in the NBA. How good a get is the Bowen kid? Yeah, well, it's another opportunity to look at some potential there and to look at him on a two-way. It's a great opportunity for us to have him as a part of our organization. It's a low-risk deal, right? It's a two-way deal. Take a look at him and hope. Absolutely. It's opportunity. It's opportunity for both of us to take a look and for him to go out and play and show what he's capable of doing. How different is it for you this offseason? Last offseason, you kind of knew what you had. You liked what you had. There was a great nucleus. You kind of knew the starters before camp ever started. Here, we're not sure what the roster is going to look like. How different is that for you? Well, this is the time for Kevin and his group to work. And, it started last night for us, really putting the team back together because we had so many free agents that important summer for us. And, last night we started with our draft and had a good draft. Felt we had a good draft. Free agency is right around the corner. Now we feel we just need to add a couple more players to the roster, and it's going to be a different look. It's going to be a different team next year, as far as faces on the roster. But we feel that we can put together a pretty solid team, solid roster, where we're able to compete. But it's going to be a group that we certainly probably going to need a little patience with. Perfect. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk to Pacers president and basketball operations, great Kevin Pritchard. You get the guy you wanted?
Oh, without a doubt. Look, we weren't picking 1 through 5. But the thing is, for me, is we go through our rankings. We put a lot of resources into identifying the real talent. And for us, we had Goga in the top 10. And usually, in that process, you kind of know you got the right person because what happens is you're trying to see where he's going. He gets to you. You make the call. You say, he's our guy. You phone it into New York. He puts on the hat. Right. And then if you made the right call, you get a ton of calls. The phone rang off the hook.
Did it really?
Yeah. And it was 4 or 5 immediately and then 3 or 4 within 2 minutes. And it wasn't, hey, listen, there's another trade. Can we have one of your other players? It was, can we get Goga, please? And here's what we're willing to do. And that's a litmus test, really. We didn't draft him to get him anywhere else. It wasn't an asset collection day. It was, let's get this guy, develop him. And everybody's saying, how do they coexist? First of all, I know good players can coexist. And the more I look at it, talk about it with Nate, playing Domas and Miles together and having this kid potentially come off the bench. But he's got to earn it. But he's earned it already in a sense that he played at the Euro League. That is a no-joke league. He was 19, go against 28-year-olds in their prime, led the league in block shots, and was a 41% shooter from 3. So all systems go for me.
And he seems like a guy who sort of reflects the character of the team as you've tried to build it, where he's earnest. He seems to have a work ethic. At least he talks a good game from a work ethic perspective.
He's willing to do whatever we ask. You can see that. Look, he grew up in a country in Georgia that had some major problems. And that, that sticks with some of those. And he moved away when he was 15. He's been on his own. He's a mature adult at 19, ready to come in and do whatever we ask. And, I always think about this, if he would have gone to Noblesville High School or Lawrence High or, one of those schools and went on to play Bloomington and you would have saw him and we'd have drafted him today, the community would have gone nuts because he really embodies what we're about. He's tough. He's willing to put the team first, and he's going to work for everything he's got.
He's learned lessons just listening to him talk about the war back in 2008 and about the poverty in his life, in his history. He's only 19. We see him here in Indianapolis, and we think of what we go through, but he's gone through a whole different set of challenges.
I mean, we think we've had it tough, right? Like Indian, we can't decide whether we go to Burger King or McDonald's today. When he grew up, it was – there's a war going on, and what do I do? And that was his norm. But I also think that's molded him. Yeah. And he's kind of already been molded. He's an adult. You talk to him for 10 minutes, you see a different. It's not like talking to these other rookies. It's like I see the kind of the joking and the fun, but I also see when he can flip it and be very serious and all right, it's time to get to work. And we've built this team. If you were to say one principle for the team, for me, it's pretty easy. I always ask, do they love to play? Yeah. And if they don't love to play, I have a hard time. I just mentally I can't get over it. I just go, yeah, but if he doesn't love to play, how is he going to be a part of Victor and Domas and Miles? They love to play. They love coming to work. They love getting after it. Doesn't mean you're going to get the top guy, but that's okay. If they love to play, I'm in.
What's the difference in development at the youth level between kids in Europe and kids in the United States?
Well, in the United States, we haven't done it right, period. And the reason why is we put so much emphasis on playing AAU basketball and playing 100 games in over an 80-day span. It's all about winning a tournament in Las Vegas or in Atlanta. Can I get all the players and let's get together? And I'm not going to teach you guys, but if I have so much talent, let's just go win because we got crazy talent. What happens is over there they say, here, get with our team. Let's teach you the skills. Well, let's not play games when you're 16 during the summer. Let's learn the game. Let's get stronger. Let's work on your ball handling. Let's work on a lot of things. And then what happens is over a course of 3 or 4 years, they become much more skilled. And then they get to us and we're like, wow, this is a 7-footer who can really shoot the ball. Yeah. Wow, that's a really unique skill set. And maybe it's a byproduct of maybe they're not as athletic, so they have to. But I'm not so sure. I think it's more of a structural change that they don't have an AAU system, period.
And it's parental idiocy in the United States where parents just want immediate gratification.
I couldn't have said it any better.
What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy more the preparation for the draft or the preparation for free agency?
Well, it's completely different. Like in the draft, I'm trying to figure out in my mind, how can I get a guy that has a chance to be special? Because that's our main allocation to get a special player. In free agency, I want to know, how do they fit? How does the 3 or 4 guys we bring in, how do they fit mentally and positionally, and how does Nate able to use and have different opportunities to put this guy with this guy, and then if we need a defensive possession, does it go this and this and this? And so we try to talk through that. But again, the one thing that's absolute is I like guys that love to play. And so I find myself in the free agency asking our NBA scouts. We have 3 NBA scouts. I'm like, does he love to play? Yeah, he loves. Okay, well then let's figure out how. And sometimes it fits perfectly. Rarely. What you do is you got to do your best, and then the players, good players who love the game, they seem to figure it out on the court. Yeah. They just kind of figure it out, and that's something I think is important.
Can you tell right away, not that you've ever made a mistake, but can you tell
so many, Kent.
How quick can you tell, this isn't a good fit?
You'll know in 15 days. If you don't, you know. If you don't know, you know.
Perfect.
And so for us, we have so much film. We know what this kid has done. Could he? Everybody that it gets drafted 1 through 60 could fail. Everybody. I've seen it. The downside from him, it's funny. We talk in basketball or in baseball analogies. We're like, okay, what's his upside? A home run.
Right.
What's his downside? A double. I think his downside is a double. Think about that. There's a lot of singles in the first round. He's a minimum of a double for me.
High floor kid.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. I like how you put that.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.